to the Career Management Podcast for Black women, where we unapologetically help you navigate your workplace crazy. I'm your host, Felicia Ann Rose Enuha, also known as the Trill MBA. Why? Because I'm the trillest MBA you will ever know. And every week, we are going to bring you the tips, tricks, and tactics you need to survive and thrive in the workplace. So if you like our content, subscribe, leave comments, let us know what workplace crazy you need help with. We got you. It really doesn't have to be that hard. As you'll learn in today's episode, where we are dropping gems, let's start the show. With that said, welcome to season 8 of the show, guys. We have transitioned into YouTube, so you should hopefully be watching me on YouTube. If not, you're listening to me on one of your podcast players, and I appreciate any time that you spend with us. For this first episode of season 8, I really want to keep it short, keep things that are happening, and I want to hone in on you're not crazy. It is 2024 now, and a lot has happened, right? Like so many things have happened. It's kind of scary, actually, how in the world we see the treatment of Black women in the workplace. So at the beginning of the year, or it may have been the end of last year, there was a study that came out from Harvard, MIT, and Boston University. So these are professors at big dog universities. And in a nutshell, this study basically looked at professional services organization, a large organization. If I had to guess, it's like a Bain, a McKinsey, a Deloitte, something like that, right? A consulting firm. It might not be, it might be an accounting firm, but it's a company like that that's very large. And basically their findings were stuff we already knew. Black women in particular, who are in these places with a lot of white coworkers, tend to get promoted less, tend to have microaggressions, tend to leave and not be retained, and tend to get mistreated in these spaces. These are all things that we already know because most of us have experienced these things. And if you're fortunate enough to never experience these things, God bless you. But please don't look at your fellow Black woman and think that she's crazy, because I'm here to tell you she is not. In fact, I talked to a client today and she was like, I used to hear about these things happening and I just never experienced it. So I just wasn't sure it was real. And now I know. Trust me, if you keep managing your career, you're gonna run into these particular road bumps in your career journey that we all face. And that's why I'm here. So we're gonna talk about it. The first thing I want to get off my chest and give a shout out to Dr. Gay at Harvard University. If you haven't heard, you should have heard by now. You should have mourned it with us. Dr. Gay was pretty much pushed out of her position as the first Black woman president of Harvard University. And they made up all these excuses why all of a sudden everybody cares about plagiarism. But yet nobody went back and looked at every single previous president's work and see if they had some missteps in their citations or what have you. Nobody's doing that. But yet you have the first Black woman president of Harvard University. And here we are. Yeah. Just gonna breathe a minute. It's okay, though, because she's going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We're all going to make it. And what I know to be true is that no matter what happens to you, everything is happening for your best possible outcome. So you can be going through the worst of things at your job. But what I know to be true is that you will learn from it and you will grow from it. It will not kill you. These people cannot kill you unless you let them, unless you burn out and just work yourself into a tizzy. That's on you. You have control in the situation. Do not let these people get the best of you. Okay? Now, we're going to take a quick break. I'm sure some commercials going to play. Listen, let that thing play, please. Help us out. We're trying to grow here. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Listen, the other thing that I want to talk about in this first season episode opener of the Trill and BA show on YouTube now, the thing I want to talk about is something that I'm seeing that we need to address. So several of my clients have told me something along the lines of, hey, I didn't get this promotion, or I didn't get the raise I asked for. I did everything. And I know I did everything. And now I feel embarrassed. I feel demoralized. I feel, anger, and I'm hurt. And it feels personal. And I want to address that because let me tell you something. This shit ain't personal. It's just not. It feels personal because these are our checks. This is how we get paid. This is how we take care of ourselves and our families. So yes, it feels personal, but it's not. It's not personal, guys. This is part of the game. And when you start to realize that these systems are all a part of a game, then you start to take a step back and you start to understand, oh, I need to play chess. And so for anyone who is feeling demoralized, embarrassed, upset because these companies played in your face, because they will play in your face, okay? When they play in your face, that's not about you. That's about them, okay? It's not you. You did everything you knew to do. You did your best. That's all you can ever do. And if a company is playing in your face, it's time to look for a new company. And why is it time to look for a new company? Because we can't let these fools play in our face. Hell to the no. Not gonna do it. So I want you to feel empowered. I want you to come into 2024 and start thinking about a game plan. When we get back from this quick break to pay some bills, I'm going to talk to you about how to set up your game plan to manage your career this year when we get back from this break. Okay, guys. So before we get out of here, the most important thing is if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. Okay? You've heard this. If you don't make a plan, then you're going to not get to where you're trying to go. So now what I want you to do is I want you to focus, okay? And ask yourself this question. What do I want? I know. That seems like such a hard question, but it's actually not. It's what do I want right now for my career? Do I like this job I'm in? Do I want to stay in this job? Do I want to leave this job? That's a yes or no. Do you want to stay or do you want to go? So that's the first step in answering the question, what do I want in this job? The next question you want to ask yourself after you've decided to stay or go is, well, if I'm staying, what do I want my next role in the organization to look like? And if I'm going, where do I want to go? Okay. Don't complicate this. Now that you understand that you either want to stay or want to go, now the game planning starts. And if you want to stay in the organization you're at, make sure that you have created a space of safety for yourself If you don't feel a level of psychological safety that keeps you at a pretty balanced well-being, you need to leave the organization. Okay, there's no reason to stay. And this is the time to really get after it and start looking for new jobs. Budgets are locked in. Headcount is known, and they know what roles that they're going to hire for from now until the summer. So this is the time to make that leap. Now, if you need to stay at your company, if you're bonus eligible, if you're in a role that allows you a bonus, make sure you understand if you need to stay long enough to be there to get your bonus, or you can still get your bonus if you bounce. Every company has a different policy, and the easiest way to find out the policy is to email your HR business partner and say, hey, silly question that somebody said, and I didn't think it was true, but I just want to know, like, they were wondering if they left before bonuses were sent out, that they wouldn't get their bonus. That's what they said. And I was like, that can't be true. You should always get your bonus if you're leaving. And so I just want to clarify what the policy is, because this person is spreading misinformation. Now, don't name the person. And the other thing is, you want to put this question on somebody else because you don't want to raise any red flags that you're trying to leave. So again, ask the question in disguise. Now, if they assume things about that question, you can say, look at the email. I said somebody asked me about it. Like, I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. And play it off. So now that you know whether you're going or staying, and now that you understand if you are bonus eligible, that you're going to get your bonus or not, and you know the timing in which you need to leave, now you do the things. You can contact your network, you be on LinkedIn and all the other places looking for jobs, but you really should be doing more talking to people and less searching online. Okay, that's most important, because if you're a long-term listener of the show, you already know it's all about relationships. And the more relationships you build, the more people that understand what you're looking for, if you've clarified and articulated what you're trying to do with your career, people will help you. Most people want to help other people. I know we run into a lot of selfish people, but the truth is most people do want to help. So let them help you. Now, whether you leave or whether you go, building relationships is key. Being clear on what you want your next role to be is key. If you go to my website, www.trillinba.com, and sign up for our freebies, there are some tools that help you get clear on what your value proposition is, what you bring to the table. It helps give you language to craft for yourself on what value you can bring to this new role that you're looking for. So I hope that helps. So welcome to the first episode of the Triple MBA show on YouTube. If you're listening to this on your podcast player, go check it out. We've got this studio, we've got the lights and the cameras, the microphones, trying to elevate the show for us. Thank you for your support all these 7 years that I have been producing this show. I want to give a shout out to my editor, Chris, for rocking with me. And if you have any questions or concerns, please hit us up at ask@trillinba.com. Again, if you have comments, you can leave down below in the comment section, and I will try to get to them as best I can. But usually an email, I'm pretty good with that. I'm usually faster. Also, if there's any situation that you need help with and you want us to talk about it on this show, send us an email at ask@trillinba.com, listener letter in the subject line, and then tell me your problem, and then I will talk about it on the show. We are going to carve out time every episode to talk about your work situations and how I would coach you through it. So The other thing I want to know from you guys is, what guest would you love to see in the guest chair on this show? We are planning to have a lot of guests this season. I feel like I have done all the talking. I feel like I have said all the things. Now I'm working to bring in broader perspectives. The other thing I'm going to talk about a lot more this season is entrepreneurship. Because when you see things that happen to like Dr. Gray, you see these studies coming out, you start to realize that we really do need to get out. They never meant for us to be there, but goddamn, here we are. Okay. And so as long as we're there, I'm going to be here to help you through it. But I am telling you, I am going to start thinking through, what does entrepreneurship look for us that are in the workplace? How can we make the side hustles work for us? How can we get to financial freedom? How can we make sure that we protect our peace? Because they be trying to like come for our peace. Oh, child, I get triggered every time I think about all the people I talk to every week about their career and their career journey, and I get triggered all the time. Guys, it's crazy out here. If I could tell y'all half the stories, you'd be like, there's no way. Oh yes, there's a way. There's a way. It's real. And it's scary. It's scary that human beings can mistreat other human beings so much so. And for what? Because none of us have real power in the situation. Not for real. But it's like, I have this little bit of control over you, so I'm gonna like abuse that. Oh, pray for us all. So on that note, we're gonna get out of here. We got flights to catch per usual. I hope you found this helpful. This is the first episode. Again, we'll be leaning into entrepreneurship. We'll be leaning into self-care. This season, we'll be leaning into all the things that you need to make a great life for yourself. Your career should support your life, not your life is the foundation of your career. It's about you and your happiness and showing up in the world just as God intended you to be. That's what this is about. And we're here to help. So again, you can go to trilliumba.com. If you need coaching, go to trilliumba.com/coaching. There's a link down below in the show notes. If you have a listener letter, you can email us at ask@trilliumba.com. I just want you to know, no matter what happens at work, it's going to be okay. And you are perfectly all right. All right. Have a great week, and we will see you next week.